Have you ever dreamed of having a custom bike built, but not known exactly where to start? Even if you're not ready to get a custom bike built right now, these steps can still help you with your current rig. I'll go over why this process is necessary, how much it costs, and how this process is actually done. Today we'll go over this often forgotten but critical step for starting this process off on the right foot. Or pedal stroke. I feel like both of those sound stupid. But to do this, we're gonna have to connect with the pros. So we're headed to Endurance Bike Studio here in Portland, Oregon, to connect with professional Jason Whittington to guide us through this crazy journey.
Can I get a liter of cola? It's for a cop.
Welcome to Endurance. I'm Jason Whittington. We're serving up drop bar bikes, flat bar bikes, whatever you're into, man. We got it.
First most important number that people take away is saddle height. So the center top of your seat to the center of your bottom bracket. And then the center of your saddle to the center of your handlebar. It's effectively your reach.
So once you get those two measurements figured out, you can kind of finesse everything else from there. Those are a really good starting point. Do you always have to start off from a bike that you already own?
That's the way that I like to do it. I like to have a little bit of a baseline so that I can see things like maybe you like to ride with the saddle that's 7 degrees down, and I would have never started somebody like that. So having this first comfortable starting point is fantastic.
Why are these so pointed in?
Oh, you know, gotta be ergo and aero. I think they call that ergonomics. We're gonna take the measurements that we're gathering right now off of this bike and we're gonna translate them over to the fit bike. We're gonna see how you look on that, and then we're gonna kind of tweak a little bit to optimize for how you want the new bike to ride. And just because you like the way that you fit on this bike, it doesn't mean that it's biomechanically like efficient for you.
That's why this is so important. His expertise based off of the way that we like a feel for a bike to be, that's what makes that perfect happy medium that we then send to a builder or take those measurements and put them on your existing rig. It doesn't have to be for a custom bike. It could be for the one you're riding or the next one you're building.
Can you tell?
He's like the bike whisperer. He can tell when any little thing is subtly off. What is this thing? Riddle me this. Do you suffer from imperfect vision and either wear regular eyeglasses on the ride, or ditch your prescription altogether for the cyborg monocle? Well, I'm here to welcome you to the 21st century and let you know there's a better way. Since 1996, Sport RX has custom fit thousands of people like you with the perfect prescription eyewear. Because, let's face it, blurry should describe your speed, not your eyesight. And guess what? If perfection is what they strive for, satisfaction is what they guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with your new glasses, they'll either remake, exchange, or completely refund your order. Now that's what I call confidence. Now this is something I actually didn't know. When choosing lenses, forget the gray or overly dark lenses. What? The move is to go for some contrast enhancing tints, like rose or amber.
Whoa.
These bad boys will let you seamlessly transition from bright sunlight to shady underbrush without losing a moment of detail. Perfect for those dappled tracks and their collateral obstacles. Whether you need glasses for road, trail, or anything in between, visit Sport RX today, because at Sport RX they believe that just because you don't have perfect eyesight doesn't mean you can't have perfect vision. That's not their tagline. I just made that up, but I think it should be. Let's run that past TJ.
This is I guess you could call this a custom bike fitting jig. In my opinion, this is the best because you can move independently, vertically, and horizontally of the bars and the saddle. Customizable for your crank length. It's purely custom. It's a great name for it.
So people use this if they're getting stock bike sizes also?
Yeah, this is like your pre-purchasing option right here before you buy the bike. We can easily outfit it to the crank length and components that are going to come stock. And then we can look at the 54 versus the 56 and collectively come up with a decision on which is going to be the best bike size for you. or the best components for you.
You want to ride 88% of your inseam just like Greg LeMond thinks you should?
If any of this is landing for you, feel free to subscribe. If you like obscure bike knowledge and other freaky things, you found your people. The price of a bike fit is going to depend on the area you live in and the type of fit that you get. But you can expect to pay something between $100 to $500 depending on the level of fit that you get. And once you have those measurements, you can use those on any future bike build that you may have, whether it's custom or a stock geometry, as long as it's within the same style of cycling. Like, you're not gonna take mountain bike measurements and use them on a road bike. Just doesn't add up.
What we're focusing on with this is the rider's position. There is no bike. We have a bottom bracket, we have a handlebar clamp, and we have a saddle clamp. Where are those 3 points in space relative to one another?
And everything else goes from there.
Yeah, it all gets built out from there. When you look at frame geometry, it's a stack and reach from the bottom bracket. So the bottom bracket is really like the key pivotal figure that you take the measurements around. When I send these numbers to your builder, they are going to determine what is the right seat tube angle to make this bike ride well. And I'm going to make sure that you're well balanced on the bike between those so you're comfortable, efficient, and right over that bottom bracket.
To further complicate things, I decided to bring 2 bikes to this fitting because I wasn't quite sure which of the measurements would be the right way to go. I actually thought it would be helpful to find something that lands right between the 2. But it turns out, am I making this more complicated?
Probably. So it's already split, 215, let's call it. There's the saddle height of your 2 bikes. The second one is reach. We have 454 and 468. So if we want to split that and right about here, basically outfitted as a combination, a blend of the 2 bikes that you brought in here. So here you are riding leg at the bottom of the pedal stroke, and whenever we measure it out based on these landmarks, we're looking for a range that's going to make you just efficient, and it's more like 138 to 142, just to put some numbers around it for a guideline.
I'm over limit.
A little bit on the high end, over the limit right there, and this type of rider might not be as connected to the bike at the bottom of the pedal stroke. You might have to just extend and use your calf, just different muscle groups.
Basically, you're saying I've been riding my saddle height too high my whole entire bicycle. Can I say career?
Dustin's been riding too high for too long.
All right, let's sober this up then.
Getting a little too low.
That's low.
Just right.
Kind of established a good seat height and a good saddle setback that you'll do well with. So we're going to record those numbers and move on to the front end.
What does reach mean on a handlebar?
Yeah, reach is the distance from the center of the handlebar to the end of your bend right here. So kind of 70 to 80 is a pretty typical reach that you'll see on most.
Is there a range of stem sizes you can suggest?
I think so. You want the bike to just aesthetically look nice. So for your size of bikes, I do not suggest a 40 millimeter stem, right? I think that 56s in this case generally look best, ride best with 90, 100, 110.
I really appreciate how Jason does a good job of showing a range. There's not an exact number for a lot of this stuff. It's just based off of a window, and then it's nuanced, like our bodies.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you want it to fit good, and you want it to ride good, and you want it to look good. And if that overlaps, then I'll be happy. You'll be happy. We'll all be happy.
So even if you're not building a custom bike right now, doing this whole process can still benefit the current rig that you have. And then you'll have all those numbers if and when you do get a custom bike built. All right, bud, thanks so much.
You're welcome, man. Good luck with this.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Now I'm realizing every bike I have has a different saddle height. Now, to get a full understanding of what endurance was like in the past, I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but check out this video where I went to Endurance to get a fit on what I thought was the perfect gravel bike. But be warned, this video is old, this video is embarrassing, and I don't think there's much of a continuity for storyline. In fact, I don't know if that was true for this video.